And you know what that means. Welcome, where we are here, as you know, to hang out, talk about shop, and all that kind of stuff. If you're new, welcome. This is just about an hour long or so live stream where we just hang out and talk about shop projects, and talk about what you're working on, and talk about what I'm working on. And just have a good time. Always fun. I always look forward to these. You never know what sort of topics we're going to get into. So welcome. I hope you are doing awesome wherever you are in this great, big, wide world that we live in. Such a great, it's so cool that we can just hang out all around the world and just talk about shop and stuff like that. It's just so fun. I enjoy these so much. So the video looks a little stuttery, so I hope that everything's coming through okay on your end. I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully it straightens itself out. Who knows what's going on in the world of the interwebs. Anyway, what are you all up to this fine Wednesday? I hope you're able to get out there and be working on whatever it is you like to work on, woodworking projects or mechanical projects or something like that. And I want to know what that is for you guys. So let's jump right in. What the heck am I working on here? Well, I am working on, well, you can barely see it right there. Barely, a little bit. I'm working on this coffee and working on tabletops. Move that coffee out of the way. I put on 2 coats. These are the end tables that I've been working on. I've got the coffee table here. And got 2 coats of poly on there and just gave it a rough sanding before we went live. I got to add a couple more coats to that. And hopefully here, well, probably about when we're done here, I'm going to fire up the welder and get to working on that. But let's see. Here, Harry Dude says, what's up? What's up, Harry Dude? And oh my goodness, look who's here. Andrew? Andrew says, OMG, I'm back. What's up, man? I hope you're doing awesome. We've missed having you on here. Welcome back. How are things going in your world? Harry Dude says, Andrew! I know, right? Andrew says, hey, dude. What's going on? Right on. We got Australia representing here today. Right on. What's up, guys? All right. But yeah, anyway, black walnut. It sure is awesome looking stuff, and I can't wait to see these things together. Hopefully, I can finish the finishing. Hopefully, I can complete the finishing probably over the next day or so. As I'm waiting in between coats, we're gonna have to give this a little bit of a standing in between. I want to pick up the welder here shortly. This has been a project for me that it's not super hard, but it's taken forever. I think I seriously spent like 3 days sanding on these things. Between about a day or so on the drum sander, and then hand sanding and leveling with a hand plane, and oh boy, it's it's taken longer than I predicted, but yeah, it always seems. All right, what is working on? What is testing subwoofers, earplugs, and earmuffs? Still stupid loud. Oh yeah. Yep, I've had to do the double, the earplugs and then the earmuffs. Yeah. The old sub test. Right on. Did you have to do repairs to the subs? Or you just like giving them a check over? Andrew says, going great now. Had long COVID, but okay now. Right on. Right on, Andrew. Sorry you had to go through all that COVID stuff, but glad you're feeling better, and glad you're able to join in. Andrew says, I'm putting my new table saw together. Bam! Nice. Nice. I've been trying to find things, try to just do some cleanup, some general cleanup. There's a lot of, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to I tend to collect, let's say, collect, not hoard, collect pieces of wood and just little things that, you don't, I know you guys have it too, where, you've got that thing and you're like, oh, I could use this little piece for something. I've just been trying to do some general cleanup and stuff like that, trying to get a tiny sliver of more space in here, but so far it hasn't worked all that great. But that's all right. I know I got lots of time here while I'm waiting for more finish to dry. I'm going to keep doing that over the next, well, probably a couple of weeks and stuff, just trying to get things cleaned up because, I hate to say it, here anyway, in the U.S., winter's coming, which means Andrew says, sand in the place where you live. Yeah, the videos there. Music Logic, hiya Jeff and all. What how are you doing this fine morning? Music Logic says, I hoard woods and tools and parts and guilty, right here. Yep. Yeah, I've just been trying to go through and really be logical. I have to be very honest with myself for this process because I have to look at the thing, whatever it is, and say, am I really going to use this? And if it's just kind of one of those, well, one day I might get to it, I've been getting rid of it. I've been putting some different things up on Marketplace and stuff, just selling some little things, just trying to clear some stuff out. And, I found a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but handful of like stage lights and stuff like that I've been hanging on to because, well, I used to use it in the band back in the day and this and that stuff's all going to be going up there. I found a big giant mirror. I don't know, it's probably a 3 by 4 foot mirror that I've saved for years. And one day I was planning to make a big frame and stuff like that, but even if I made it, I don't know where to put it. Even in the house, we have mirrors where there needs to be a mirror, and so that's going to get listed probably this afternoon, and just stuff like that. Just trying to clear up extra things. Oh, did you see that? My footrest gave out, which isn't really a footrest, and I almost fell off the chair. Anyway, let's see. Henry's here. Henry says, hey guys, what's up, Henry? How are you doing, man? How's things going down in your neck of the woods? It's far from dead. Must be ID 10 error. So I got a question on that. That is, I don't even know how to ask that. How do you get a fault report on it? Like, does it have some sort of interface where you connect something to it? What kind of sub is it? I'm curious as to how that works. That intrigues me. Music Logic says above the bed. We already have a mirror there. I don't need another one. Because that's kind of the logical place. But we have one there already, and my daughter has one in her room, and I just can't find. I was looking around the house, like sincerely trying to envision this thing somewhere, and I just can't. I can't see it living anywhere, so I think it's going to take a hike. And we have some coffee this morning. I haven't had coffee the last few weeks, but there was a little bit left, so I figured, well, better finish this up. Harry Dude says, last person using it wrote dead on some tape and stuck it to the unit. I gotcha. That's the fault report. Mike's here. Mike says, I get fault reports from my wife. Oh, boy. Music Logic says, oh, wow, you guys are really kinky. It's just a mirror. I mean, yeah. Oh, boy. Anyway, let's move on. Henry says, how do you deal with humidity on your instruments here in Colorado? Well, the Let's see here. Most of the time, I don't have too much issues. I don't have, like, my shop is not humidity controlled at all. It just, whatever it is outside is basically what it is in here. And, you know, we're super dry here. And for a lot of projects, I don't think that that's a big issue. Where I feel that it can be an issue is more so with acoustic guitars. My acoustics, one of them is that it is kind of a kick around one. It just hangs on the wall. I pick it up, I play it, and I don't worry too much about it. I do have another acoustic that I have one of those little case humidifier deals, which honestly I'm not as diligent in keeping it filled as I should be. But you know, it seems to do the trick as long as I keep it filled. That's the downside. I haven't really seen most of my instruments that are mine personally. I don't take them to. I don't see a whole lot of issues with that. The ones that I do have for sale that could possibly be going anywhere, you know, in the country, they are all at Square Music in Colorado Springs, and that is a climate-controlled environment. So, well, look, you guys are going to laugh at this. Sweetwater Sound is calling me. Those of you that have ordered from Sweetwater, you guys will know that they call you all the time, and it did yesterday. So that's probably why he's calling me. Anyway, but humidity wise, I don't do anything special, like I said, other than the in-case humidifier for the acoustic, and the ones that are potentially going to other parts of the country are in a humidity controlled environment. But really, I don't spend a lot of time or mental energy on humidity. Now, I know some people will argue that to the death, and I think that it is a valid concern, but it's not one that I spend a lot of time on. Now, if I lived in a super humid environment, I would probably have dehumidifiers to keep that level down. But really, I don't do a lot of, and I don't do a lot with humidity control. Right or wrong, I probably should. Oh look, I got a voicemail. I got a voicemail from the Sweetwater team. So, Henry, I know that's not a super clear and concise answer, but that's really how I handle it. I don't really do much with it. Like I said, other than the ones that are potentially going to be sold to other areas, those are kept in a controlled environment. KK's here. KK says, greetings from hot Greece. Hope you're all well, and it rains because everything will dry out of water. Jeff, my friend, I'm glad caught up with you and drinking coffee. I'm happy watching you. Right on, man. Right on. Coffee cheers. There you go. Clink. And stay cool over there in Greece. We are actually in a little bit of a cool wave. Let's call that. I think we're only supposed to be like in the 70s today. Hence the sweatshirt. It's only, I don't know, mid 60s or so right now, which isn't bad. It's going to be nice for working. The downside is that finish takes just a teensy bit longer to dry. But again, we go back to our humidity that Henry was asking about. And since the humidity is still really low, stuff still dries super fast, but it definitely dries quicker when it's hotter. But since I know I'm going to be doing a bunch of welding here today and tomorrow probably, I'll take these cooler temperatures because I can't do it inside. So I'm out in the hot sun trying to weld. And then, you know, you kind of bundle up because you don't want to get all burned and it gets kind of toasty, but I'll take it. Kind of a nice change. Music Logic says Sweetwater in Fort Wayne. Yes, you know, the old Sweetwater music place where when you order something, they call you all the time. Their customer support or customer service, though, is pretty fantastic. Yeah, I ordered, I had to order like I ordered a strobe tuner couple other things, just some things that I can use in the guitar setup and that sort of stuff. Probably telling me that my order shipped instead of just checking the tracking. But and they come with candy. That's the other plus to ordering from those guys. I love the little candies. They always have those little cinnamon fireballs. I love those. Let's see. Senpak and Rick's here. Rick says, good morning. Oh man, the video is real poor. Rick, I'm sorry to hear that. I had a little stutter in the video early on, but it seems to have cleared up, so I don't know. I don't know. We're at the mercy of the internet. Music Logic says, yep. Hours? W hours? What's W hours? Is that 4 hours? My boy AJ there is a great guy. Mine was Ryan. Oh, but now it's Braden. Oh, look. Oh, I got a text from him too. Man, that Braden guy, he's on it. Thank you for your recent order. It's going through shipping now, and I'll send the tracking once it's on the way. Man, they're so friendly over there. Yep, I really like them. Really, it's really a cool place. It seems like you can find about everything, including like other instruments. And I didn't know this. So my daughter has decided she wants to join the school band. She's going to take up the flute. And so I was looking for a couple of things, and I didn't know they sell like wind instruments there. I never knew that. That's a little side note. Oh, and if anybody has a flute that's not being used, let me know. I may be looking to get one. Right now, we just got one yesterday from the music shop. It's one of those rental things. But I'm in the market for a flute. If anybody has a flute, let me know. A regular, I don't know. I don't know how to play the flute, but I probably will shortly. Music Logic says, yes, the candy bag. I know, I love the candy bag. Oh, Henry. Sorry, I skipped it. Henry says, are you going to the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival this year? I wasn't planning on it, a vendor or anything, but just to go and look. And a couple other people I know I think are going. I don't know. At this exact moment, I'm not planning on it, but that could change. Senpakin says, pixels galore. Sorry, Rick. Music Logic says, oh, it's 2 hours away. Oh, right on. Man, you could just, like, drive there. I remember the first time, shortly after I moved out here, I've heard of Guitar Center. Now it's not quite what it used to be. But I was so excited that I could drive to Denver, an hour's drive, and go to a Guitar Center. And made the drive several times to go up there and check it out, and it was pretty cool. But do they have a retail store there? Because that would be pretty incredible. Music Logic says, I've been dealing with AJ for 10 years now. That's how I felt with Ryan. Like Ryan was my guy there, and now it's Braden. So I don't know if Ryan left or they just switched people around or what, but. Music Logic says, I do drive there. Oh, nice. Yeah. 2 hours? Man, that's like, you make a little half-day trip. That'd be pretty cool. I should try to stop there. Next time we drive east, I should try to go that way. Let's see. Rick says, okay, sorry, but I'm going to jet. It keeps stalling and poor quality. Not your fault, so don't apologize. Well, right on, Rick. Thanks for understanding, man. I wish I had a speed control that I could just crank to 11 and no one would have these issues. But sometimes I'm cursed with the bad connection, and I just. Anyway, Rick, I hope you have an awesome day, and thanks for stopping by. It says peace to everyone. Right on. Peace out, Rick. Henry says, did you say that you're a welder? I would not say that I'm a welder specifically, but I can weld and I do have a welder. How's that? And kind of like the internet, I'm at the mercy of my welder, which is about a bazillion years old. And sometimes it works good, sometimes it doesn't work great, but we're gonna get through this upcoming project. So yes, I do enjoy welding. I've taken welding classes, but I don't call myself a welder. Mike says, actually, I'm seeing the poor quality as well, but I'll hang with you. Oh, right on, Mike. I don't know what's going on. There just doesn't seem to be a solution. I've tried, half a dozen different things here to try to to try to get the quality better, and including paying for the highest. I have the fastest speed that is available to me at the moment without getting, which I've been considering, that satellite. What is that called? Starlink. I've been thinking about that. I don't know if it would make much of a difference or not, but I don't have any other things I can try on this end. Music Logic says, CSM packing. Now press some frets. Yeah. Henry says, I'd really like to make a chassis for an amp. Metalwork is something I've decided I can't get into. I enjoy, well, you guys know, I enjoy working with everything. It's always one of my goals to at least be somewhat proficient at all the skills needed to make whatever it is I want to make. So I dabble in a lot of stuff, which I know a lot of you do as well. And I grew up in a bit of an auto body shop, which my dad still runs, and as well as on the farm, where if you've ever been around anybody that farms, you always have to fix things. There's always stuff that breaks. There's always things that need to be repaired, replaced, and maintained, and that involves a lot of different skills: welding and carpentry and concrete. And I mean, there's just so many different things that I've gotten into, and somewhere along the way, I took some welding classes, and I really do enjoy it. I wanted to get a new welder for quite a long time, but I just don't do enough really to justify buying the latest. And although it would make every project a little easier, because I spend half my time arguing with the welder and trying to talk it into working correctly, but yeah, it's something I do enjoy. Andrew says, that's my trade, metal worker. Yeah, maybe you should come weld these for me. Henry says there's a cool blacksmithing makerspace in the Springs called Kilroy's. I had a guy make a holdfast, and it was fun to check out. Yes, Kilroy's is a great shop. Now, I have not been to their new location that they moved to several years ago, but back they used to be out here at the airport in Falcon or Peyton, whatever you want to call it. And when they had, like, their shop was in one of the hangars, and I did get to go over there and meet everyone, see their operation. But I do know that since they've moved to their new building, they've expanded everything so much. And that is another thing that I want to do. I want to take a class down there one of these days. Just kind of a rough blacksmithing classes, maybe one of their knife classes or something. I just think it would be cool. That's another thing that I'd like to do a little bit of, and eventually have a small forge and stuff like that. But yeah, Kilroy's is a cool place. They make a lot of neat stuff. Music Logic says, I need to relearn welding. Yeah, I'll probably have to do that too before I start welding on these frames for this coffee table and stuff. I would have to dig out a couple pieces of scrap and just practice a little bit. The other challenge for me is my welder is a MIG welder, and it uses a shielding gas. And since I'm welding outside, I always have to crank the gas and play with the settings on it to try to get a good, to get a good weld as well. Because the breeze always wants to blow the gas away, so I have to crank that sucker up to really get it to work well. But it's fun. I do enjoy gluing two pieces of metal together. Brian's here. Brian says, hello, Jeff and everyone. Hope you are all well. I'm listening while making pasta for dinner. Pasta. That sounds good. I might have to make that for dinner. Some kind of pasta. There's a fly in here the size of a B-52 bomber. Did you guys see that thing? You probably could have seen it on the camera. Wow. Mike says, which is why we enjoy your channel and the good outlook on projects and positive nature. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, don't be afraid to jump in and tackle something, even if you haven't done it for a long time or maybe never done it, because there's always skills to learn in everything. And don't be afraid to. If you've never welded, don't be afraid to try it. If you've never done leather work, jump in and try to make a little something. Harry Dude says, I bought a small gasless MIG and slowly teaching myself how to use it. Done a couple of small projects with reasonable results. Inherited an arc welder but never used it. Yes. Oh, and Andrew says, everyone should learn stick first. Once you have it, all welding becomes easy. Yes, I do agree with that. And that's what I was going to say to Harry Dude. Fire up that arc, burn some electrodes, and it does help everything, because you have to learn such control with moving along and down at the same time. And it does help when you're doing MIG. MIG, you don't have to move your electrode into the material like you do with the arc, and it does make a big difference. I took some classes. Honestly, I think it was high school. Yeah, I believe it was. I had arc welding or welding class in high school, and that's what we, it was mostly, the big giant Lincoln tombstones, with the crank, and you crank the thing around, and we learned how to do all of those. Of course, I'm not certified or anything like that, but it set into motion. It set the foundation. That's what I'm trying to say for everything else. And you're learning butt joints and corners and angles and upside down and all that kind of stuff. So yes, definitely, Andrew, I agree with you 100% that to me, and I could be wrong here, but as like a hobbyist, let's say, I don't see a lot of people using arc welding. A lot of people are TIG and MIG now. I don't see a ton of people arc welding. Obviously the industry, the pipe fitters and all that stuff, they're still cranking the arcs and all that, but at least that's what I see. And I think a lot of that is maybe it's easier. I don't know why, really. KK says, at the moment we have 42 degrees Celsius and it's stifling due to high humidity. Hope it rains in some states in Europe because the rivers are drying up and the situation is strange. Ooh, man, that's not good. 42 degrees. I don't know what that is, but that sounds extremely hot. Yeah, that's like 106 Fahrenheit. Wow. No. Yeah. Somewhere around there. Man, that's toasty. That is toasty. KK, stay hydrated. Drink something. And try to stay cool. I hope you guys do get some rain. River's drying up. That sounds pretty rough. We have had a little bit of rain here recently. Partly why it's a little bit cooler today. We had a rain shower last night, cooled everything off, and I think the next couple days there's chances of rain. So I'm going to be trying to dodge the rain while I'm welding these frames together. So I'm going to try to do it. It's pretty clear out right now, so I think I'm going to try to at least get one of them done maybe today before it rains, if it rains. Music Logic says, "Got to scoot, Jeff. Y'all stay safe." Right on, man. Thanks for stopping by. Listen to while working in the shop. Podcasts, music, videos, silence. There's a couple different things. It depends on. A lot of times I'm working. A lot of times I don't have anything going on because the camera's rolling. I can't have that background noise, so I don't have anything. But if I'm doing operations like where I'm sanding for hours, I do have I have a set of earbuds. I'll throw those guys in with my earmuffs, and I'll listen to really my order goes podcasts, then music. Really, I listen to a lot of. I listen to several different podcasts, like the Making It podcasts and a couple leatherworking podcasts and some different trade podcasts. And then when I'm all caught up on whatever is out there, guitar podcasts, if you guys haven't ever listened to it and you're interested, check out the Fret Files with Eric Daw. Great podcast. Really, it's really fun to listen to. It's one that I enjoy. About guitar repair and building and all that kind of thing. But then I'll put on some music, and it could be about anything for music. But the majority of the time, when the camera's rolling, I don't have anything on because if I'm planning to post it here on YouTube or wherever, there's going to be potential copyright infringements, and we don't need that around here. So, short answer is yes. I'll pop a great while. I'll have a video on. Most of the time, I don't do that because it tends to distract me from what I'm doing. So I can't just have videos going because then I want to watch that instead of doing whatever I need to do. But so either a podcast or some music in the old earbuds. Brian says later, Music Logic. Brian says, I listen to podcasts, audiobooks, and music. Genre depends on my mood. Yeah, I agree with that. Mine does too. I've got just a wide range of. I usually run Pandora. I know a lot of people use Spotify or maybe their own playlists or something like that. But I have several different genre channels built up over on Pandora. So I just go in and pick whatever sounds good to me and just start. Going to town. Like the last couple sanding on these things, which I'm going to show you guys just a little bit closer here in a second. We'll move the camera around a little. Andrew says those planes always kill your vids. I know. We have that little airport right up the road. It's just the region. I don't know if you'd call it regional, local airport. I don't know. They run the little, just a lot of the small planes out of there. So they're always really low because they're either taking off or they're landing. Sometimes when the air is just right. You can hear them over there on the runway, their engines revving up and getting ready to take off or whatever. And it's really kind of interesting. Harry Dude says, I miss Pandora. They shut it down here in Australia. Really? Why? What? That sounds weird. What's the scoop behind that? Do you know? It is interesting. While we're on this subject, what do you guys use for a podcast player or a music player, like a Pandora option, Spotify? Overall, I still like it. They've made some changes in the last, 2 months or so that to get it to do. Now I probably could buy the Pro whatever. But do you guys have other options that you like as well that may be a little more user friendly? And I'm not mad at Castbox from what you guys, but a lot of times I will skip. If I'm working, I just let it play. I'm there looking, it brings up a still of the ad, and then you have to hit the X, and it's really annoying. So, what do you guys use? Harry Dude says, I think they said they weren't making money in a... Just to, so I remember to check it when we're done. Pocket Casts. Like I said, I'm not knocking Castbox. I do like the app. It's just that interface is really weird. Like, or the changes that they've made. Pocket Cast. Pocket Cast app. I'm not going to click on it yet, but I'm going to bring it up so I can check it out. Mike says Sonos was able to get the full system from a friend that worked there. 50% discount, software, VLC, and goggles, Google's podcast player. Ah. Isn't that speaker system? The Sonos? Sonos? That seems kind of cool. All right, we're gonna take a little turn here. Not. We're gonna come over here. This has a bad glare from the window there, but this is the black walnut coffee tabletop that I'm working on. This is with 2 coats of wipe-on poly. I got a little bit rough. I got to give this a light sanding and apply a few more coats. Man, I just love that color. There's a little bit of figure right here around the knots. These I'm leaving the knots in because those were kind of requested, that the knots. But yeah, just really liking how these are looking. Just over 1.5 inches thick. I know you move my cup out of the way. These all go figure. So this is about ready. I gotta sand the edges again. It's gonna get a couple more coats. I have heard the same thing. I've heard the same thing from people here. So I might look into it. Well, I've already looked into it, but I might go ahead and try to do it. Mike says, please put this on your website photos. Can't really see with the plane interference. Oh. Yeah, it will. Are you talking about the video? The video will be here on YouTube. Thing to show you guys these tops, and apparently that disrupted the whole internet. And a lot of times, why I don't, some people have asked for live shop tours and stuff, and I've done it a little bit, but it seems like once I find the spot where the connection sort of works, if I move it from there, it causes a disaster. Yeah, Mike, I am doing a build video for these. So there will be a video up on this whole entire build. I was hoping I could get it wrapped up for this weekend. Don't think I'm going to make it unless the weather cooperates, and I can't post a video until these are delivered. So I'm trying my best to get it done. There may or may not be a video this week. As much as I don't want to skip a week, I got to get this project done. So I can't really stop and do something else. If the time permits that I can, I will probably another plane. Yeah. Keep it down. I'm trying to hang out with these guys over here. He didn't listen. I might get the kerfing and stuff glued in the acoustic guitar if everything works out, the stars align correctly. But I think this project takes precedence over everything. Because I got to get it done. So there will be a video on this whole thing, so you'll get to see it with a little better quality footage. Mike said, "Cool." Andrew says, "Like the old days when Dad made you move the indoor aerial." The good old days. Brian says, "I have to run, everyone." You too, buddy. Have an awesome day, and thanks for hanging out, man. We will catch you next time. Stay safe. Andrew said, bye, Brian. Right on. Guys, clearly the internets are not months waiting period to get one of those things. Anyway, stay. I'm gonna try to get through this, and then I'm gonna have to wrap this up because this is bad, and I feel bad. Anyway, I was talking about the quick grip clamps. When I was bending the guitar sides, I was using a regular F-style screw clamps, and I think these would be quite handy because that's what my friend Matt uses, and he's like, yeah, you just got to grab a couple, and you can just put everything in place, and you don't have to fumble around while you're trying to get everything in the mold. So I decided to grab a couple of those, but that's the extent of my new tools. Mike says, in the old days, the kids were the aerial and had to hold the TV for dad. The old rabbit ears, or my grandparents used to have a big, tall outdoor antenna, and you'd have to go out there and like turn the thing to to orient the the thing so the channel would come in. Andrew says also the TV remote. Yes, get up and change the channel. Click. A bear paw says hi from Swansea, Wales. Right on, welcome. Bear paw, how you doing? Mike said exactly. Harry Dude says, moving the aerial, now I feel old. I remember the old black and white TV with valves. Had to turn it on for half an hour before you wanted to watch anything. Yep, I'd kind of forgotten about having to go out and spin the pole on the antenna. That's what we call it anyway, the antenna. Aerial, I know what you mean. Andrew says, yep, that's the one, Harry. Dad yelling to turn it over. Mike says, we used to argue so much about the TV channels that my parents just removed the tube to kill it, and then we argued about radio. Oh, that's funny. Andrew, Mike, that's gold. Henry says quality's a lot better now. Well, that's good. I didn't do anything different except shook my fist. I just had to threaten it a little bit. Oh boy, that's funny. Anyway, I did open the window a little bit. Maybe the window was blocking some of the signal. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but whatever. I'm at the mercy of the interwebs. I don't know what else to say. Harry Dude says, back in the days when my exercise consisted of getting out of my chair to adjust the volume, change the channels. Oh, you gotta get up and grumble and groan and turn the antenna on. It was like the worst. Like when you were a kid trying to watch the your favorite cartoon show or whatever, and it would go to static, and you'd have to go out and wiggle the thing around, and then you'd miss like the cool part. That anyway, the good old days. Now there's like, well, we don't have cable. I don't have satellite TV or anything. We don't watch a lot of TV here. I do have, just a powered, like one of those amplified antenna deals. And we get like, I don't know, 20-something channels. It's ridiculous. I've never seen so many over-the-air channels. Maybe it's more than that, honestly. Like the TV gets turned on so rarely, and once in a while I just have to click through. And it's surprising to see how many over-the-air channels there actually are. Yeah, Mike says all the lead in the window pane. Maybe. I don't know. It's like a antenna. Yeah. Andrew says, wow, bet you're glad you're not filming today. The noise would be driving you crazy. Yeah, I will be probably filming a little bit later, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. And sometimes I'll use those clips and just do a voiceover. And that's one way I get around some of that stuff. But sometimes I can't avoid it. Like if I'm doing something in particular, and I start the shot, and then a plane goes zooming through, I just leave it. Well, yeah, you guys know. I'm sure you've heard them in the videos, and I just can't. Sometimes I just can't make it not exist. But there's a lot. Oh well, that's okay. Well, I thought about some soundproofing, but I don't know. I could put something on the ceiling. I looked at the light and that was really bright. I can put some sound stuff on the ceiling, which might help a little bit. But that stuff's like really expensive, and to get enough to do in here, yeah, I don't know. It might be worth it though. Mike says I built a coat hanger antenna for HD TV and it works great. Really easy to build. Found on YouTube. Really, we used to have the coat hanger antenna back in the day. Didn't need no YouTube. You broke the rabbit ears off. You just grabbed a coat hanger and jammed it down inside. Who else has done that? Come on. There's no way I'm the only one. You go to move the rabbit ear, you know those collapsible things, and it kinks off and breaks. You just jam a coat hanger in there and call it good. Andrew said, my new saw is a 10-inch with cast iron top. Nice. It's going to be cool, man. Cast iron top's great. I wish mine had a cast iron top, but one day. Mike says, look it up. No power needed. HD TV. I will try it. I'll check it out. Hair Dude says, coat hanger car radio. Classy. Yeah, especially if you left it like still coat hanger shape. Okay, really quick. I'm going to ask, who still has metal coat hanger in the closet? Because you never know when you're going to need that metal. I have like a couple of them, I think, left. You know, most of them are all plastic nowadays. I do have a couple metal ones left that I've held on to specifically in case I needed a coat hanger for something, you know, to unlock a car or something like that. Paul's here. Paul, what's going on? Paul says, sorry, so late. Been busy at work. No worries, Paul. We've been fighting internet issues. The interwebs have not aligned correctly to allow us to hang out seamlessly. But now it seems to be okay. I can't breathe on it. I can't move it. Hair Dude says, Andrew, what did you get? Paul said potatoes work for car antenna also. Potato, really? I've not ever tried that. Andrew says he got a Sherwood. Paul has metal coat hangers. Right on. Andrew says, Mommy dearest, wire coat hangers? Mike says, of course, useful to grab stuff out of tight spaces, or tight places. Yes. Yep, every time I, go through the closet clean out, I'll pull something out that's on a wire hanger. I'm like, nope, hangers got to stay. Sure, it can go or whatever, but hangers got to stay. Paul says, I use them to fix ball joints on my 68 VW Bug. When I was a kid, coat hangers worked great for that in a temporary fashion. Coat hangers are great for lots of stuff. That's why I keep one around. There are a couple of them. I don't have a ton of them, but there's a couple in there. Mike says, need to jump? Take care. Right on, Mike. I'm going to wrap this up here pretty quick as well, but have an awesome day. Thanks for stopping in. Andrew said, see you, Mike. Hairy Dude says, Sherwood, so did I. I had hassle setting it up. Get in touch if you do. We'll chat. Right on. Thanks, Hairy Dude. There you go, Andrew. Andrew says, cool, thanks. Going okay so far. Right on. That's awesome. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, I got one thing really quick because it's sitting right here. Do you guys ever buy something, some sort of product, and you use it and you find out it's not? Well, I'll explain. So, before I started applying the finish to these tabletops, I wanted to wipe it down with some mineral spirits to get all the dust and stuff off of it. So I was at the store and I bought mineral spirits, right? Didn't pay any attention necessarily. Mineral spirits before I apply the poly. So I open this up and I pour some on a rag to wipe it down, and I realize it's kind of whitish. It's not normal clear like mineral spirits. So I looked at it and I'm like, it says green, right? I'm like, all right, whatever. So I still read it. Fins, oil-based paint, stain, and varnish, all that stuff, just like normal mineral spirits. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And I guess I just grabbed whatever was on the shelf at the hardware store. So I start wiping down these tabletops with green mineral spirits. I've never used it. I don't know anything about this stuff. Well, I don't know what this is made from, even though it's still compatible with oil stains and paints and stuff. It's got to have some kind of water in it. It's got to be a water-based somehow, because it raised, after I'd sanded the tops on these to 400 grit, I wanted it nice and smooth just to wipe off the dust and then apply the finish. This junk raised the grain. I was not happy. So then I had to go back through, wait for it to dry, sand it back out again, but now I can't use this to remove the dust. So I had to like try to vacuum it off and wipe it with a rag as best I could, but this stuff, this is awful. And I don't normally say that about products, but planes. But if you guys are, just be aware, if you are using mineral spirits that's marked as green, chances are it's some sort of water-based formula, and it's likely that it will raise the grain. I was unimpressed. So that's probably, it's going to go in the trash because I will never use this junk. I didn't even, but now I know that I didn't know there was a green mineral spirits. I saw mineral spirits, grabbed it, and came home and used it. I was not pleased. So just be aware. There's your tip of the day. Don't use odorless mineral spirits if you don't want it to raise the grain. I suppose it would probably work well for something like a cutting board or something where you want to raise the grain anyway. But when you don't want the grain to raise, don't use green mineral spirits. Pro tip for the day. Let's see here. Hair Dude says, glad to hear it. I love mine. Once I sorted it out, it's been great. Andrew said, got the 14-inch bandsaw as well. Nice. Paul said, thanks for the heads up on that. Yeah, there you go, Paul. I was not happy. But I didn't know any better, honestly. I just saw the label, says mineral spirits. I grabbed it, grabbed the finish, and zoomed home and started to work. And yeah, as soon as I started wiping that on, I realized that it's not acting the same, and I could feel the grain. So, oh well. No big deal, except I'm gonna throw that bottle of it away. That's the only downside. I forget I don't know what that is. It's not ridiculously expensive, but Andrew said, Tora. And Paul said, Dick Dastardly trying to get the pigeon at your place. I don't know. Anyway, guys, we gotta wrap this up. What are we? We're at the hour. Oh yeah, we're at the hour. And gotta wrap this up. Do a little bit of sanding on these tops. Get another coat on and see if I can beat the rain to do a little bit of welding. We'll see what happens. So yeah, there's your pro tip. Don't use green mineral spirits unless you want the grain to raise. So guys, awesome hanging out with you every week. I look forward to these. And Andrew, man, don't be a stranger, buddy. Glad you're able to tune in. And hope you guys all have an awesome week. And yeah, stay safe, stay well. Thanks a lot. Get out in your shops. Andrew finished setting up that saw. Harry Dude, make sure that sub's working. Paul,